Tonight, a blockbuster new report is raising serious questions inside Washington. According to new reporting from The Atlantic, President Donald Trump and members of his administration have privately expressed concern that ongoing efforts surrounding the Epstein files could set a precedent for the president to be subpoenaed to testify under oath. One administration official described the internal mood this way: everyone's looking for an off-ramp. But that may be easier said than done. In a striking development, 9 individuals familiar with materials submitted to the FBI and the Department of Justice in recent years told The Atlantic they were alarmed that key documents, including some that reportedly reference President Trump, were not included in the DOJ's public production of Epstein-related files. 9 separate sources with insight into the investigation say materials referencing Trump exist, and that those materials were omitted from what has been released so far. The reporting suggests this goes beyond a single allegation or a small batch of pages. Instead, it describes a broader range of documents tied to multiple allegations and multiple individuals. Documents that, according to those familiar with the investigation, were submitted to federal authorities but are not part of the publicly released record. The implications are significant. The report also reveals that White House staff were reportedly caught off guard by the scope of references to Trump within the files. One staffer told The Atlantic that the president's prominence in the materials freaked people out. According to multiple administration officials, staff members were unprepared for what surfaced and uncertain about what might still be unreleased. That reaction is particularly notable given that the release of Epstein-related files had been a campaign promise. During the campaign, assurances were made that transparency would follow. At one point, Attorney General Pam Bondi publicly suggested that key materials were ready for disclosure. Yet internally, according to the reporting, there appeared to be little preparation for the potential fallout. The story also outlines alleged political maneuvering involving Republican Congressman Thomas Massie, who has been pushing for fuller disclosure of the files. According to the report, some of Massie's key staff members were approached with offers of higher-profile government roles or lucrative private sector opportunities, moves that could potentially weaken his legislative efforts. The administration has not publicly confirmed those claims. What remains unclear, even to some close allies, is precisely what President Trump fears might be damaging in the unreleased materials. According to 4 administration officials cited in the report, the president has not detailed privately what specifically concerns him. What he has reportedly made clear, often emphatically, is that he wants the issue to go away, but it shows no signs of disappearing. Instead, pressure appears to be intensifying on Capitol Hill. Lawmakers from both parties are now scrutinizing not just what is in the released documents, but what may be missing. The broader issue touches on separation of powers and investigative independence. Traditionally, the White House does not have direct access to active DOJ investigative files. However, the disconnect between public promises of transparency and reported internal surprise is now fueling new questions, and those questions are multiplying. Were materials withheld intentionally? If so, why? And could further disclosures create legal or political consequences for those named? For now, the hunt for answers continues. As more reporting emerges and congressional scrutiny deepens, one thing is clear. The Epstein file controversy is entering a new and potentially volatile phase, and for the White House, the political and legal stakes may be rising. Stay with us for continuing developments.